morning. It's Sunday morning and we got a few inches of snow last night. I just rolled out of bed. I can't talk yet. And Chad is outside playing with his four-wheeler, cleaning the driveways and the sidewalks off for everybody this morning. So he is doing what he loves to do, and I got to sleep in.
You're going to need those boots today and your coat.
I know it.
Okay. Keys?
Got it.
Yeah, got it. Ready to go. We're heading out to church. It's been snowing lightly all morning. I went out and snow plowing cleared all the snow off of the driveway, but to no avail. It's all starting to come back down, but it'll give us something to do when we get back from church.
I'm gonna grab my bag in case I need the...
Okay. Careful, it's slippery.
Thank you. Chad just said, grab my arm, that way if I go down, we both go down.
How you doing?
Morning.
Picture that when you're putting them on.
Okay, well.
A new day.
Good time to turn that off.
Two hours later.
Well, it beats 3 hours later.
We'll tell you about that when we get home. Okay?
Yep.
So I told you in the car that I would explain to you about this 2-hour meeting. When I was a kid, we would go to church in the morning for a couple hours, go home, do our chores, whatever it was, and then in the evening we would go back to church for another 2 hours, hour and a half, whatever, and we did that while we were children. And then about 40 years ago, they they changed the time that we go to church, so it was called a block time. So we
So
would
we
go
just
for,
go all at
Yeah.
one time. We didn't have to go back and forth from our homes.
And we
It's so-
thought that was pretty
yeah.
cool.
Well, it was smart because a lot of people lived, didn't necessarily live real close to a church, so they spent a lot of time traveling back and forth. So that was kind of fun that they changed that. So now, and it's not that we're just taking an hour off of church. They're emphasizing that they want us to do more studying, more reading, and teaching in our homes. We're not trying to preach to you. We're just telling you what's going on in our lives and what we think is a little bit interesting. And this year we're going to be studying the New Testament. We're going to as a church. Last year we focused on the Old Testament, and next year we're going to be reading and studying the Book of Mormon. So it's kind of interesting. I'm looking forward to it, to spend more time.
Very much.
Yeah, an hour focused with you and I, reading and talking about what we're reading. So a lot of times we'll just read and just.
Well, they've always encouraged us to study every day, a few minutes a day, and I don't.
Yeah.
And they've always wanted us to hold family home evenings. We've always done that when our children were small. We'd hold family home evening on Mondays. I mean, not every Monday, of course, but we tried. And that's all anybody does is they just try.
Yep. And a lot of people have asked us, how did you raise such good kids? And I don't know. Lucky. We were really lucky. We set a lot of expectations for our kids. Curfews, things that they could and couldn't do, and made sure that they understood what they were. And there were consequences when they didn't meet those expectations. Pretty much the same as you and I when we were raised as kids. We knew exactly what our parents and what our teachers expected, and if we didn't meet those expectations, there were consequences. Not always pleasant, but we knew when we received those consequences, they were well deserved. We always like to reminisce and talk about when we were young, because we're not old yet, but we're approaching there. But it was funny. We in church today, we talked to this young couple. We saw them there, and we'd seen them before, but not very much. And so I reintroduced myself and asked him what him and his wife's name were, and they oh yeah, okay, yeah, I know who you are. And I told him, well, it's good to see you out. And he says, well, yeah, we're trying to get back more involved and more active in the church, starting today.
New Year's.
The first Sunday of the year, and we laughed. He says, oh yeah, we know exactly what you're talking about, because when Jennifer and I, when we first got married.
Your arm's getting tired, isn't it? Maybe
a little bit. We need a tripod.
Yeah, we've got a tripod.
Yeah, but when we first got married, we got married in November, and our church time where we were living started at 3 o'clock that year. And so 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, we wouldn't get home until like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. 5, 6 o'clock. And so I'm glad my mom and dad's not alive to hear this, but we didn't go to church those first 2 months. Yeah. So, no, one of our first arguments that we had
how to raise children
we were married just a couple of months, 2 or 3 months. We didn't have any children, didn't have any on the way,
but we were fighting
about how we were going to raise our kids and what we would and would not do on Sundays.
Yeah.
And we were talking about, and we could never go play with our friends. We couldn't play basketball, we couldn't play football, we couldn't watch TV, this, that, and the other. And then
we did.
And then
we did.
Jennifer, she was saying, "Oh no, we're going to go fly kites. We're going to go to the park. We're going to," and I, no, we're not. So
it wasn't worth the fight.
Yeah, but it was our first one, and we went back and forth for quite a while.
How we were going to raise him, but that's a good thing to discuss. But
and I'm glad
about it.
I'm glad that we discussed it, because it helps us it helped us gravitate to where we were going to be on the same page in raising our kids. We both compromised as we, got to know each other and got to the point where we were raising our kids, and so we.
It evolved.
And it's still evolving. We're still, making compromises and changing and helping each other out. Well, I think I'm going to take my tie off, get back in my snow removal clothes, and go dig out all the snow that the snowplow pushed back into our driveway and everyone else's driveway.
Okay.
All righty. Well, thanks for watching, guys.
Bye-bye.